is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Let's go to Phil in Puerto Rico. Hey, Phil, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, doing great. Just wanted to thank you guys and the whole crew. Best content on the internet. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing.
We appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Phil, how did you find us?
I just typed in live trading in YouTube one morning.
Cool.
I was looking for any type of live trading room. You guys came up, and
awesome.
I know quality when I see it, or at least I like to think so. And I mean, you guys are just a dream. I appreciate everything you guys do.
Welcome to the Tiger family. We appreciate you growling and prowling with us.
My pleasure.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Tommy O'Brien, coming live from TFNN. Love those intros. That one's a good one for sure. S&Ps right now, folks. We got a little negative action in the market to kick things off. Down by 38 points, and as I come to you, we're testing session lows. You open higher, and we're giving it back right now. Now, you have intraday lows on the S&P of 25.27. We're just 5 points above that price level right now. S&P is off by 38 points at 75.32. NASDAQ 100. Now, you got some chip stocks higher, but boy, Google and Amazon, we're going to kick it off with. Both of them down almost 5% right now. Google, as I mentioned at the top of the hour there, down nearly $250 billion in market capitalization as they have a couple employees leaving, and important employees when it comes to AI, when it comes to coding. NASDAQ down by 170 points, or 0.5% right now, 30,550. You got the Dow barely in the green. Okay, Dow gives back its gains. It was up almost 300 points earlier. Dow up by 8 points right now. Market's making session lows. Okay, pressure's been to the downside this so far for most of the trading day, and we just broke the lows. There you go. Yeah, I shouldn't say we broke it. We're right there. We just broke where we were, 75.31. We jump over to crude. A little bit of a roller coaster over the weekend. Talks looking to fall apart. They come back together. Progress is made. Crude down $1.74. We're at 74.11. You take a look at crude, and yeah, we got some nice volume trading lower today. Look at that, 289,000 contracts on the futures. Crude down by 2.25% right now. Now yields. Okay, we have an inflation problem, folks. That's a good thing for metals if the value of a dollar is inflating, right? Gold should go up. But we also, we have inflation. But we got dollar strength right now, and that's being a thorn in the side of metals in the short term, because you got the 10-year now above 4.5%, 4.51 is the number on the 10-year, and boy, you talk about a move in the dollar. Look at this move in the dollar from last week. You get Mr. Warsh takes over, and we just broke, folks, okay? We're back to where we were trading over a year ago, right? You broke above the highs we had in March. You broke above the highs we had last November for dollar strength. You do it decisively, too. Look at the move we had last week, right? You break above all of it. You close above it. That was a decisive move with a new Fed chair in town. And now we're challenging the highs of last May, and you break above there, man. And 110 could be in play, which is remarkable. But we got dollar strength right now. You're up another 18 pennies at 101 on that dollar. As I mentioned, gold. Yeah, now you back off on actually lighter volume last week. It was a short trading week, only 4 days, but you do 508,000 contracts in gold. The prior week you did 811. You take a look at the daily, okay? Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. But today, look at the volume today. We got a big day today, 171,000 contracts in gold. We've bounced nicely from where we were. When you look at the lows, okay, those lows down here, 41.38, but we got dollar strength coming at you. Gold down by $35 at $42.10. Silver down by 82 cents at $65.50. Talked about platinum really under pressure recently. Down another $30, down almost 2%. And be careful of platinum. That's a tough one. Can't find a bid right now in platinum. Right, look at this weekly, man. You're right back to where we had some nice October strength, though. Even September in platinum. Trades up to 16.14 with some volume, and you're right back to 16.77. We jump over the VIX, 1752. Slightly elevated, but all things considering, not too elevated, right? And yeah, we take a look at the heat map. So we're going to talk about Google, Amazon. Look at some of the others. Microsoft off 2.6%. Broadcom off 4%. Oracle and Palantir 5 and 7% respectively. Micron, SanDisk, Intel all up dramatically. Micron 5%, Intel 5%, SanDisk up 6.2%. Let me check out SanDisk. New all-time highs. Look at this weekly. I talked about earlier today. Folks, that's your weekly. You put this thing on a daily, okay? On June 9th, you were trading at 1536. You're up almost 50% in this equity in the span of 8 trading days. 50% in 8 trading days for SanDisk. Now, I said this morning, a lot of people weren't aware, right? The market wasn't there. How these memory, data storage, okay, all of these for inference, all these chips that are going to be necessary. Nobody was aware when it was at $27, right? This thing was trading at near $40 in last August. But don't tell me that 8 days ago, the market didn't know that it was about to jump 50, as in just poof, things getting a little stratospheric. But guess what? Up 6.3%, $2,323 for SanDisk. And you're now at, what are we at? $343 billion market cap. Now, I was saying, folks, just last week I was talking about this, only 148 million shares. And for 148 million shares, when this thing was trading at near $40, right? Let's just do it. That was a $6 billion company. Could have bought the entire company last August for $6 billion. You probably would have had to pay a premium in terms of what it was trading at in the open market. But there's only 148 million shares, and they were all trading at around $40. That's a $6 billion company. That company is now $344 billion to buy the same company that in August would have cost you $6 billion. There are risks on a longer-term basis on these chip stocks, folks. Okay, they are a commodity. It's not going to ease in the next year or two. But what I find myself wondering, right, is, okay, so the chips that they're producing and the margins are stratospheric, right? Everybody needs them. The margins through the roof. Okay, what would it cost to get into this business? Well, in August, you could have bought the entire company for $6 billion. Everything they own, everything they have access to, $6 billion, right? Don't tell me competition's not coming for them when the same company is now valued at $350 billion. Tell me where the logic is flawed, folks. And yeah, it's not that simple, but the logic is not flawed, okay? I don't think a lot of people would have known that $6 billion last August. Anyway, okay, let's jump over to Google. Speaking of numbers, you talk about talent, human capital. There's nothing like human capital sometimes, folks, and right now, that's more true than ever as certain individuals, right? I mean, you look at Anthropic, right? That gentleman left from OpenAI. You have to be in this ecosystem, as in just the brilliant people driving this forward are so valuable right now, and I've never seen evidence of anything. And there's a lot going on in this market, right? Amazon's down almost 5% today, okay? So, but the headline here cast it to a second AI star departing for arrival, and it's an important one. Google DeepMind Vice President John Jumper. He's jumping. Where's he jumping? To Anthropic. Yeah. And he was a key member of their coding development team as Google has struggled to sell coding. While Google down $240 billion in market cap today. How's that, folks? We're coming back with our man Steve Rhodes. We're talking markets, folks. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. S&P's right now down about 35 points, trading at 75.36. And right now, folks, as we do each and every Monday at 3:15, we're going to talk to our man, Steve Rhodes. Folks, you can check out Steve's outstanding newsletter, Mastering Probability, right on the front page of TFNN. You see that Mastering Probability banner right there? This is Steve's daily newsletter. He's got updates in the morning and in the afternoon, folks. If you head on over to TFNN and you subscribe, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee for the entirety of the 30 days, okay? You want to cancel, you get a money-back guarantee. You got nothing to risk. You can sign up for $149 a month. You gain access to some great webinars in there as well. And don't forget about checking out Steve's outstanding program every day, 11 a.m., The Trader's Edge. Steve Rhodes, good afternoon.
Tommy, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Excellent, and I agree with you. That opening of your dad's show, that's a great opening.
Wasn't that a good one, man? I know. They always get me. Yeah. Totally. I appreciate it. Yeah. Totally. That was a good one. I was thinking of the callers on those things. Thanks to all the callers, the listeners. I was like, so cool all around. Totally, man.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you mentioned a newsletter at the beginning of each of the segments here. And what I've never really done is shown anybody what they're really getting. So let me show what folks can get for less than $5 a day out here. It starts off with this is the segment that this portion here where I take a look at the ES gold contract and a 30-year, and then I put the index, the ETFs below it, the SPY, the GLD, and the TLT. This is what I used to do for Timer Digest. So this was my Timer Digest signals for the daily and the weekly time frame. Plus, it provides you with support and resistance levels. And then what I do, Tommy, is it's a very in-depth newsletter, as you know, and I summarize everything. So I create a little executive summary so folks can easily see exactly what's going on. And you're going to see it covers a ton of information. And then perhaps the most important addition I think that I've added to it is what's changed since the prior newsletter, whether it was yesterday's or Friday's out there. So it gets real succinct with regard to breaking down exactly what's changed since the prior day. And then I give more of a detailed brief of what is below in the charts out there, in covering the currency markets, the commodity markets, the international markets, because all of these have an interaction with each other. And then what I do is I summarize and kind of create this daily, weekly, monthly, what I call stack takeaway. Just the things that are most important messages to take a look at for the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. Then I kind of bottom line it. So that's just the general overview. What I really provide that's additionally important to folks are all the support, TD9 count support, TAS market profile support and resistance levels out there for each of the index ETF sectors, for the index ETFs, for top 10 stocks in the NASDAQ, the Dow, and a few others, and then I give the entire daily, weekly, and monthly top, center, and bottom of profiles for each of the sectors in the S&P. Again, those top 10 stocks and the index ETFs out there. I start the morning out, Tommy, by taking a look at what's going on internationally. What's going on in the Hang Seng, the Shanghai, the FTSE, the DAX, and the DAX especially because it's got that correlation to the NASDAQ itself. So we take a look at that, then we go into the dollar. You were talking about how the dollar strength is at $100. We'll talk a little bit this afternoon about the weakness really in the euro, which is putting that strength inside the U.S. dollar out there. So we cover the currency markets. I then go into the equity future markets and cover all that. And again, I do a summary, what's changed for these specific areas, exactly what the conclusion can be drawn from it, how the currency, this is the morning newsletter, so how the equity futures are trading in multiple currencies. That's also important to understand. Is the move real? Is there something else going on? I take a look at the intraday charts for folks. So there's a ton of information out there. I thought it'd be helpful if we just showed folks what it is they're getting for less than $5 a day.
Pretty cool, because I agree. Not a lot of, they wouldn't, you got to check it out, folks. It's quite a letter, for sure.
Yeah, and the thing I think that's most helpful was when I went to changing it to summarizing what's changed between yesterday and today. It just makes it very easy to succinctly go and take a look at a specific area that you might be invested in. As far as where we're at in the markets overall, this is the 98-year seasonal cycle. And at the end of this month, we begin basically the three largest favorable, other than October, November, December. We are now in the most favorable period of time in the S&P 500 over the last 98 years out there. And I know that that's wild for people to hear when we're at all-time highs and so forth, but this is the seasonal pattern. Down below, you can see the June, July, August timeframe out there. So that's where we're at. In fact, typically, the market doesn't generate any kind of significant top until about the early part of September. Now, this is the daily SPY. This is the daily, weekly, and monthly SPY. We're going to take a look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts here. For the SPY, there is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, and if price were to close above 760.40, it's going to negate that and says we're moving higher, which is the message of the weekly chart. The weekly chart's got an A and B equals CD pattern to get us up towards that 850 level. And when we take a look at the monthly time frame chart, it negated its TD9 count top in May. So the longer-term time frame charts here, weekly and monthly for the SPYs, say we're moving higher. But let's not stop there because we want to take a look at what's really going on inside the equal-weighted ETFs. So this is called the RSP. It's the equal-weighted ETF for the SPY. It takes all 500 or 506, how many of our instruments are in there. It gives them an equal weighting. So this is really helpful to us. Here what we can see is that on a monthly basis, I'll start from the right to the left, the long-term time frame negated its TD9 count top last month. That's telling us that this wants to move higher. At the same time on Friday, Tommy, the RSP generated a Rhodes momentum top, but price much closed below its green oscillator and change line, which is about 208 right now. I think that's what it says there, about 208, in order to get any kind of downside traction. So its overall signal is neutral. The monthly signal is bullish, and the daily does not have a topping pattern. That's the equal-weighted ETF for the S&P 500. So different than what we looked at for the SPY. And the equal-weighted ETFs typically point the direction. Here's the XLK. It's got a 39% weighting inside the S&P 500. It does not have a monthly top. It does have a daily and a weekly top that is present. So we want to respect that, but not until price breaks through key levels of support like 175.47, the bottom of the XLK's daily profile level, where there be any kind of significant damage really done. It's just more of a consolidating type market. This happens to be the equal weighted version of the XLK. I didn't know that there was one that was out there, but I searched, found it. Here on a monthly basis, no top whatsoever. There is a TD9 count on the weekly and a TD9 count on the daily. So we're watching for price to see if it can clear those levels, but the monthly is saying that any kind of real retracement that we've got should be relatively mild. Nothing significant. Here's the QQEW. This is the equal weighted ETFs for the NASDAQ 100. It does not have a monthly top. It does have a daily and a weekly top out there. So we're getting these daily and weekly tops, which could help us with regard to moving a bit lower out there. But the monthly time frame charts, Tommy, one after another are saying we are not at any kind of near all-time highs. Here's the SOX index. Same kind of, in fact, the SOX index, interestingly enough, and you were talking about the semiconductor chips out there, there's no topping pattern for the daily, weekly, or monthly time frame. Wild.
What do you think about, hey, we got a minute left. This is a great charts. Folks, check it out, okay? We're going to wrap up the in the next 2 minutes with Steve. You got time to go right to TFNN. You can sign up for Mastering Probability. What do you think about SanDisk, man, at $350 billion when the whole company was $6 billion in August, Steve?
I heard you. So let's take a look at that. Let's just put up the chart here real quick. It's SNDK. SNDK? SNDK. So let's just put the charts up just for the heck of it, right? And let's see what they're communicating to us, right? So these are going to come up. The daily time frame does not have a topping pattern. It's in bar number 7 of a TD9 count. So that says maybe we get a topping pattern between tomorrow, Tuesday, and Thursday. Weekly time frame chart has no topping pattern whatsoever. This thing, like you said, it's a rocket ship. A total rocket ship.
Monthly? I've never seen a monthly like that. $6 billion. You could have bought the whole company in August, Steve, for $6 billion. Hey.
Totally. And you know what? You know what folks would have said? They would have said, hey, Tommy, last month, that was the high. Why? Because it was nine months consecutively moving higher out here. We got a TD9 count top, and guess what it's done? It's just blown through it. So SanDisk, it's moving higher. It's not moving lower.
I'm with you, man. Those charts, man, we might get one day a pullback, but the trend right now, man, it is higher prices. Steve, thanks so much for the breakdown. Folks, check it out. Mastering Probability, right on the front page. You saw a glimpse of what you get every day, 30-day money-back guarantee. Steve, look forward to the show tomorrow. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tommy. Take care.
Have a good one. We'll come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tom O'Brien Show is brought to you by Direction's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. ALPS Distributors, Inc.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps down by 38 points right now. You take a look at the volume. When we look at the futures on the S&P, we got about a half hour to go in trading, and we've had some volume overall since that pullback on June 5th. All right, we're going to do some volume again today. You lower on 1.3. We jump over the ETF structure, the SPY. Not even close, though, on the SPY. Look at this. No volume whatsoever. Look at this. Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, we had some volume then. But today, the SPY, only 31 million. You jump over the Qs, same deal. Look at that volume. No volume in this market whatsoever today. So yeah, we talked about Google. Pretty remarkable. Human talent, right? Nothing like human talent, human capital. But pretty remarkable. To finish this up, okay? So you have John Jumper. Not hard to remember that he's jumping ships. He's jumping to Anthropic. And imagine, you're jumping from being vice president of DeepMind. Quite a position in its own right. He wants to go to Anthropic. And last week, one of Google's most prominent researchers announced they were leaving for OpenAI. Yeah. Now, Jumper was a key member of the coding development team, and even they're losing members from the team that needs more help, right? Coding's been a problem. They've struggled to sell AI coding tools to keep up with Anthropic and OpenAI. Claude, right? All of that. Can't do it so far. OpenAI and Anthropic are increasingly the dominant frontier firms in the U.S. Imagine that, from Google. Pulling away from models and coding tools from Google, Meta, and XAI. Well, Elon will have something to say about that. Now, you got broader weakness, you sure do, but Google, that's a $240 billion hit, man. If that's one employee or two employees, imagine what they're going to be charging. And, a lot of times what these employees are doing, they start their own company and then they'll buy that company to bring them under the umbrella, right? But, yeah, how about that? Imagine the next employee that's thinking about leaving in the negotiation, and they go in and go, hey, you going to let me go too? You see the market cap you hit the last time Mr. John Jumper took off, right? And Amazon, so Amazon's down 4 to 5% today. Now, Prime Day is coming. Okay, there's a lot going on. Well, this is participating in the sell-off for Google. A little diversification away from Amazon and Google today. But in terms of what they're going to do for Prime Day, now the whole industry is going to pull in $26.3 billion, they expect. And of that, Amazon, I think, is going to pull in about 15 to 16, with the entire rest of the retail pulling in $10 billion. 200 million Amazon shoppers, but nonetheless, that's the number they're looking for. And yeah, competitors getting in the mix as well. Surprising it's that low. 60% of Amazon Prime Day shoppers will also browse Walmart, while 35% will check out Target. Even as a Prime subscriber, folks, as a Prime member, you better believe I price shop to Walmart, right? You take a look at Sam's, maybe. All right, what else we got going on? How about that World Cup, man? There's always, it's almost, when you bring together countries and you get, whether it's the Olympics, you get countries that are just playing to play that probably don't have a chance to win it. Well, guess what? I say probably. Yeah. Because this company, Cabo Verde, so what's pretty cool is they're in Tampa. So the Tampa Bay Rowdies training facility in Tampa is their headquarters for the World Cup. So as if they're not doing big enough things. They tie Spain 0-0, and then they just tied Uruguay 2-2. Or was it Paraguay? Who did they just tie? I was just looking at it. Oh, I lost it. I think it was, somebody help me out in the YouTube Tigers Den or the Tigers Den. Was it Paraguay or Uruguay? No matter what it was, folks, it's why people love sports. I'm pulling it up right now. Now, this country, okay, to finish this up, has, let's pull it up, approximately 530,000 people as their population. Let's see if we can pull up where it is. The point I'm going to make is the population of Tampa is above 400,000. Yeah. So you're talking about a country the size of the city of Tampa, Uruguay. Thank you. My great producer. Nonetheless, pretty remarkable. Check out that World Cup. And yeah, how about that? Tampa, 405,000. Let's see what it says. Tampa population, 419,000 as of the 2020 census. The Tampa Bay metropolitan area, 3.4 million residents. But the city of Tampa alone, 419,000. Meanwhile, Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, 530,000. Pretty remarkable. All right, what else we got? We still got the World Series of Poker going on. I like to throw these in there. I always like to play a little poker. And this one's a cool one, the $50,000 Poker Players Championship. Now imagine, folks, the first year of the main event for poker, let's see, first year, it was in the 70s. Might have been 79, 72. Let's see. It was $10,000. Okay, 1970 at Binion's. There you go. The first ever World Series of Poker, 1970, Binion's Horseshoe in Las Vegas. The original inaugural event was an invitational cash game where 7 poker legends, imagine that, they started it. Hey guys, me and my 6 buddies, we're going to start the World Series of Poker. Come on over, we're going to play some cash games. Nonetheless, it was $10,000 was the original event. It's still $10,000. So many times, the players who are really playing big amounts, you're talking about $25,000, $50,000. This one, it's a $50,000 buy-in, and this one's a Poker Players Championship. So they rotate among a series of 8 or 10 games. And yeah, that one, you're dealing with 66 players out of 87 left. And these are the tournaments currently running right now. The main event fires off sometime around July 4th. And that's the big one that gets all the press. That's the one who is the main event champion. A little bit of gambling thrown in. They just had a $50,000. Yeah, check out this gentleman. And they stream this on their YouTube, right? Google. They stream a lot of these events, folks, on their YouTube site completely free for the World Series of Poker. This gentleman just took home, he just won the $50,000 pot limit Omaha tournament for $1.3 million. We're coming back talking stocks, folks. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. ALPS Distributors, Inc.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Tom O'Brien.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, we got markets testing the lows. Now, early this morning, you hit a low of 75.27. Right now, we're at 75.30. As we wane into the final 20 minutes or so of the trading day, with S&P's off by 41 points right now, making a run for those lows. NASDAQ 100, we're down by about 0.5%. And you get the Dow barely hanging on to gains, and the Russell driving this market higher. And that's an all-time high on the Russell today. But volume, very light in this market across the board. Look at these volume numbers, right? Very light day back from a long weekend. And yeah, let's talk about SpaceX, okay? Not surprising, folks. Didn't mean it had to happen, but not surprising. Elon, on the way up, I did it. Why not? On the way down, we'll do it. 6 billion shares he has of this entity. 6. He's down about $180 billion in wealth today. Today. That's almost as much as worth second place, right? SpaceX, no longer worth $3 trillion. $2 trillion. Still, $2 trillion. 156. They IPO at 135. And yeah, where do we go when we're dropping like this, man? You know, if we're going to find out. They raised some debt today, and that's not surprising. They may roll it up with Tesla at some point. That wouldn't be surprising either, folks. Tesla gets a little bit of a bid, up by 1.1% right now, up $4. Wouldn't be surprising he combines these companies at some point. So to bring back poker a little bit into this, as we got markets testing the lows, so check out this tournament, right? So I watched a little bit of this last night. It played out to the final on YouTube. And as I mentioned, you can just search WSOP, World Series of Poker. All right, this site that I pull up here is called pokernews.com. This site is run by one of the big poker online playing sites. It might be GG Poker. So not exactly like reporting, right? It's basically just a propaganda arm of online and poker play. But nonetheless, so this gentleman, Samau, wins the $50,000 Pot Limit Omaha tournament. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Pot Limit Omaha, folks, it is an awesome game. If you've ever played No Limit Hold'em, which is the 2-card game that everyone's a big fan of, that's the most known game, No Limit Hold'em. Pot Limit Omaha is very similar in that instead of giving you 2 cards, they give you 4 cards to start the game. Each person gets 4 cards in their hand, and then you deal the 5 out that are the community cards. So what it gives you is it's a drawing game. That's why it's played as a pot limit game, because it's meant to be played as a drawing game where you see the streets versus No Limit Hold'em. Many times you go all in before the flop. Nonetheless, that's the game. Check out Pot Limit Omaha if you've never played it. Nowadays, you can learn games. Don't go to the casino and play the game. Don't. Okay, Pot Limit Omaha in a casino is one of the most expensive games you'll ever play because it's an action game. Many times you go to the Hard Rock, you can go to your local dog track. Well, I guess I don't have the dog tracks anymore. But if you go to the local card room, many times the biggest game in the room running is a Pot Limit Omaha game because action players flock to it and it's an action game. And this gentleman takes home $1.368 million for winning that. And what's cool here is that, first off, what's amazing is, right, this guy wins it, okay? And this guy's anybody playing these tournaments, okay, are high stakes regulars. They all are. You're not getting noobs, as they would say. And you might get an occasional, they call them recreational players, right? People who just aren't as in tune to some of these pros with everything going on. But most of the time, folks, it's the same people in these tournaments, okay, until they run out of a bankroll or run out of a backer paying for it. You put up 50 grand, you can enter this tournament as well. 110 people, okay? But if you ever play a poker tournament, they are very top heavy. Okay, they pay out about 10% of the field. So in this tournament, they paid out actually 17 players out of 110, right? So maybe close to 14, 15% they paid out. If you made the money, you doubled what you made, okay? And what's interesting is that you can see that when you get to the bubble, right, in terms of strategy, if you finished 18th place, you get nothing. If you finish 17th to 11th or 10th, you make like the same thing. So there's a real bubble there where it really incentivizes to finish within the cash once you make it to 18th place, right? You don't want to gamble if you don't have to, when realistically, everybody who finishes from 17th to 11th make the same amount of money. Then it goes top heavy. And it goes top heavy dramatically to where, you got to win the tournament. Anyway, pretty cool. $1.368 million, that $50 Players Championship they got going on. We'll have some big prizes in there as well. And then this one's a cool one, $1,500. And check it out. They guarantee that the winner's going to make $1 million. Now, 11,000 players. How's this? 11,000 players. Now, the way they do that is they run multiple day ones. Okay? But 11,000 players they have in that tournament alone. How about that one? Salute the Warriors. Not sure this one, but 4,400 players in this one. I believe they're raising money for some, of course, organization there. Nonetheless, nothing like playing for 1.4 million, right? You watch some of those plays. All right, let's take a look at metals. As we're a little light on volume and market testing the lows of the session right now, we jump back to gold. We're right back at the October highs, folks. Okay? October highs, 43.92. You had lows here of 4,100 back in March. We had recent lows of 4,046, and we got as low as 4,138. It's a general area. It's not a science. It's an art, right? Yes, we're below 43.92, but we have tremendous strength in this area right now, folks. I remember I was talking, I think it might have been Steve or Basil, maybe it was Tim Ward last week, and saying, listen, gold can go lower. Okay, but we are in a new environment, man. Gold ever goes back to $2,000, it's not happening. Okay, we're back from 5,600 to 4,200. Yeah, there's a risk that we go test 3,800. Okay, we had a pullback on that initial October run of, let's see what the low is there. 3,900, 3,901. Okay, that wouldn't be out of the woods either. Right? If that consolidation area widened a little bit, you stretch it out to the current action, okay? That was your high. That was your area of support. That was your area of support we're back into. But we're not going back substantially, folks. Okay, we go back to anything like that, everybody's going to be buying all the gold jewelry they can afford. And that's just not where we are with inflation. It's just not where we are. An ounce of gold, when you think about what you can make out of an ounce of gold in terms of jewelry, a solid ounce of gold, Okay, that's not happening where you're going back to even close to where we were. It was quite a consolidation we got for a period of time, and that was the breakout. We're not going back there, folks. Okay, we're not going back to where we were trading on gold in 2011, 15 years ago. Not happening. So risk reward wise, yeah. We have dollar strength, we have higher yields. That's weighing on gold today, down $41. But longer term, we have an inflation problem, and we got gold testing some pretty substantial areas of support right back to the October highs. One more segment, folks. We're coming right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. And sometimes you gotta love how technically it just works. You know, there's trades, folks, out there, okay? And it's not like I took this one. It's hindsight. It's 2020, okay? But look at how even today, technically, right? On the top of the side, you had 75.50. On the bottom of that side, and what do? We touch the low, 75.27. And yeah, realistically, 75.30 was the low area. We're bouncing a bit. You got a little volume coming into the closing bell. And I can't help but talk a little bit more of some of the numbers that are getting thrown around with the World Series, folks, of poker. Okay, we'll talk the markets, man, but you got to mix in a little bit of pop culture. And so this gentleman here, Adrian Mateos. Now, that's a little bit old. This gentleman just won. I'm talking about $50,000 poker tournaments, folks, okay? $250,000 poker tournament. This is a very simple tournament. You can enter it if you bring $250,000 to the cage at wherever they're having these tournaments. I think it's Harris. Maybe it's at Paris. They're having these tournaments. This gentleman wins it. Now, this tournament had 56 people. Okay, he wins it for $4.3 million. Now, that's remarkable because just a month ago, he won the last big tournament. This one, Triton Invitational. I think this one is in Montenegro. Yeah, Montenegro, $6.3 million. Now, what I'll say about this, okay, is that many times, and this isn't against the rules, but many times these guys are what's called like sharing action. Or so if, you get 10 players who are all world class, right? They all can't afford the variance of one entry. But what happens is you get 10 entrants, they all enter, and they all share action, so they all have 10% of each other, right? They all have $20,000 of the 200, and that type of diversification allows them to handle the variance that goes into play in a tournament like that. And you also have backers. You also have backers because guess what? Millionaires out there, smart businessmen. David Einhorn, he was one of the people in that tournament that he won for the World Series. David Einhorn, yeah. All right, folks, thanks so much for tuning in, spending your afternoon right here with me. Time, the one thing we don't get back. Appreciate you spending your time with me, folks. Enjoy your night. Spend that time wisely. Enjoy it with your friends, your family, and we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great night, folks. We'll see you in the morning for the Morning Market Kickoff.
Building wealth